Hey guys, I'm Soda here back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters is directed by Ivan Reitman and features Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, Annie Potts, William Matherson, David, Margaret Willis, and what's her name? Slavica Jovan. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to make this review a bit shorter because just right now I tried to make a review for Ghostbusters that was 20 minutes long, but like so many people kept coming in this room, like in and out of this room, and I had to edit it so much, and so by the end of it, my phone didn't have enough storage to upload a full 20-minute video. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to make a shorter review now. I'm pretty sure a lot of you may know the plot of this movie. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen this movie. You know, the Ghostbusters like join together after they get fired at the university. They get the money. They get their own money. They get their own building. They get a car, and so they're out for business to try to capture ghosts. And then they capture ghosts, and then there's this whole subplot with the villain of the movie, Golder the Gozerian, an evil god coming to the world to destroy it through this gate in a building in Central Park West. So yeah, that's the whole plot of Ghostbusters. Now, do I like Ghostbusters? Yes. I like Ghostbusters, but it's not my preferred movie. You know, like it's not a movie that I would like to go back to rewatch all that often. Cause yeah, just not my preferred. It's just, I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong, but it's just not a movie I like to rewatch very often, because yeah, it's just, so yeah, it's just not really one that I come back to often, but it's still pretty cool though. I mean, I still like it. I mean, it's pretty funny, but some jokes don't land for me. Like, this movie's pretty dated. Like, a lot of the humor, the effects, and the comedy's pretty dated. So yeah, and then there's a lot of parts in this movie that are pretty boring too. Like some parts that I'm just really bored on. But this movie, there are a lot of enjoyable stuff in this movie. Like a lot of the scenes where they're capturing ghosts. Like that scene in the hotel is pretty cool. Let me think. Anything else I should say? The end battle is pretty cool. So yeah, there's some funny moments. There's some enjoyable scenes. So yeah, the characters are cool. Peter Venkman's pretty funny. Yeah, he's definitely the most goofiest out of all of them. And then Egon Spengler is definitely the smartest out of all of them. He's pretty cool. Ray Stantz is pretty cool. He's not the smartest nor is he the funniest. He's just in the middle. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. And then Winston Zeddemore. He's definitely my least favorite out of the Ghostbusters because he's the one that had the least amount of character development in the movie. I mean, he was pretty funny at times, like that scene where he's talking to the mayor. Let me think. Anything else I'd say about Winston Zeddemore? So yeah, Winston Zeddemore, he was okay, but he just wasn't developed. Like he was like there wasn't really much of a point for him to be in this movie either, because like he's just some person that decides to help them out, and you never even know why he wants to help them out, like how he even got the job, like why he even wanted the job. So yeah, just he was definitely the least the person with the least amount of character development in this movie. But and then we go on to Dana. Dana was pretty cool too. How she was the love interest of Venkman, and she was like a huge point to a huge thing for the plot. How she got possessed by Zool, one of Gozer's minions, and then same with Louis Tolley. He got possessed by one of Gozer's minions, and he was her neighbor, and he was pretty funny too. I really like Louis a lot. Like all the scenes with him were really funny. Let me think. Anything else I say? And then the phone girl, Janine Melton, she was pretty cool too. She was a good character. I wouldn't say cool. She was a good character. She was funny at times. And then Walter Peck, definitely my least favorite character in this movie. He was definitely like the only character I hated in this movie. He was the second antagonist of the movie, but I didn't like him. He was just way too mean, like how he didn't even believe in the Ghostbusters, like he thought they were fake, and he was even trying to get them sued. He even like shut down their devices. He was just a pretty he was just a really mean character. I did not like him one bit. Every scene he was in the movie, I was just like, dude, get off the fucking screen. I hated him so much. The mayor had one scene in the movie, but he was cool. The Gozer as the main villain was pretty creepy. Like she was pretty creepy. Like all the scenes with her were really creepy. Like the way the way she looked, the flip she did, even her voice, like her voice was super creepy too. So yeah, Gozer was pretty cool, and so yeah, it's basically all the characters in this movie, and then we go into the soundtrack to this movie. The soundtrack to this movie was really funny, actually. This, what am I saying right now? What am I saying? The soundtrack, it was pretty cool. I meant not funny. Like, why did I say it? The soundtrack to this movie was really cool. It was really good in this movie. I love the soundtrack so much. The Ghostbusters thing. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Yeah, that whole thing is amazing, and then the little beats to the movie, like that little beat, the main theme. Yeah, that whole beat is really satisfying, and then I love this other song too in the soundtrack, Dana's theme. That theme is just so satisfying, cause it's so soothing, cause like there's this little song for Dana, like the scene where Peter and her are talking in this like waterfall thing outside of her music, her I don't know what it's called, but it's like this little waterfall thing. You guys may know the scene that I'm talking about if you've seen the movie, but the song that plays in that scene is just beautiful, and then the song that plays in the end where Dana's coming out of the statue was beautiful. That whole theme is just so soothing. So yeah, the soundtrack was cool. The performances were amazing in this movie. I love the performances a lot. Like the performances were great in this movie, but they all gave it their all. Let me think. Anything else I just say about this movie? And all the scenes with the ghost are pretty cool too. But the ghosts do some of the ghosts do look a little fake at times, but at other times they look kind of real. Let me think. And then the end bout to this movie was pretty cool too. Like that scene with what's his name? Mr. Stay Puft. That whole scene was really funny too. But yeah, when he's seeking havoc upon New York, he's walking in the streets of New York, and it was pretty funny. Mr. Stay Puft was really cool, but I just wish he was in it for a lot longer, cause he was really cool, and he was only just in it for just 1 minute, just 1 minute. I just wish, yeah, he should have been there for a lot longer, at least 5 minutes, just at least 5, not 1. He was great. Let me think. Anything else I just say about this movie? Let me think. So yeah, this movie's pretty good. I mean, at the end of it all, it was good, but definitely not a movie I like to watch all that often. And a lot of you might kill me for saying that, but I don't think this movie is a masterpiece, because so many people say this movie's like one of the best movies ever made. Many people say that this is one of their favorites. I can't really see why, honestly. Like, it's good, but I wouldn't put it nowhere near my favorite movies. Let me think. Anything else I should say? And I'm gonna review the rest of the movies too, Ghostbusters 2 and the remake, and then Ghostbusters Afterlife. So stay tuned for that. Let me think. Anything else I should say about the first Ghostbusters? Let me think. Anything else I should say? I think that's it about the first Ghostbusters. So yeah, Ghostbusters is pretty good. To rate it, I'll rate it an A-. Yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.